is it anywhere?
Hello guys, welcome to Pillow Talks. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe and press the notification buttons. So today we have the lovely Diaz Dawn.
Hi.
Hi Dawn, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, you're looking scrumptious.
No, you're looking just fire.
You're looking like a snack. And we have the lovely Akasha.
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 We do this every episode.
I need to like. It's a tongue. It's a tongue teaser. Akasha.
Yeah, Akasha.
Akasha. They're beautiful, Akasha. So yeah, thank you for coming again.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah. How are you all feeling?
Good.
Very well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a funny one today. We both got red on. Again.
She didn't get the memo.
I didn't know. We to wear red.
She didn't get the memo.
I'm too much fire listening inside. Never mind red outside.
She's got a red fiery spirit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool,
no,
I
she
like
definitely has. We know that one. And today's episode, we're going to be talking about red flags.
Wow.
See, you didn't get the memo.
I don't see red flags. What's a red flag? So where? Who?
And you know what?
Was that Amber?
That is why I wanted to do this topic, because I think, speaking from woman to woman, like, we go through relationships seeing red flags and not even acknowledging them.
Yeah.
And
To be fair, I'm colourblind. I go through red lights. I have tickets to prove it.
no, but on a serious note, what is a red flag to you, Donna? What would you class as a red flag?
Wow. A red flag. Like, as I'm growing older, I'm realising that, I don't know how I'm going to put this. Like, everything changes, your perspective changes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything is a lesson, isn't it? So, a red flag for me would be cheating. Because I know personally.
Yeah.
Once someone cheats, I can't ever get over that. So
Yeah.
like
that's like an afterthought though, isn't it? After
I suppose, because then you go into
what were the red flags that led up to the cheating? That is what we want to explore. Like, what did you see that maybe you could have prevented or got out of the relationship, or not even embarked on the relationship in the first place before it got to that stage?
I would have to say maybe immaturity.
Yeah. Give me an
Maybe.
example.
Like, I don't know, your way of thinking. This is it, your way of thinking. Like, some people think to cheat is okay. It's kind of can stem from a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting myself mixed up a little bit, but I know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, someone that's just not ready to settle down. I suppose it's if you're trying to be an adult in a relationship, like a mature, finding a red flag is immaturity.
For you?
For me.
Yeah. And Akasha, what would you say is a red flag, or what is your experience?
Going off the back of what Donna was saying,
Yeah.
mine is emotional maturity.
Yeah.
It's all about the mindset at the end of the day. Donna's jumping up and down now.
Yeah. Give me an example.
It's one of those things where you kind of look at an individual and say, all right, are they materialistic or are they realistic? Because if they're just all about the materials, I went on a date to this place, or my partner bought me this, that and the other, and it's all about that.
Material.
Yeah, it's all about the material things. It's not going to last because they're looking for instant gratification.
Would you say that is that just in your experience, or are you talking on like an overall sort of thing? Because some people wouldn't mind that. Some people, like, so if I met someone and I was really materialistic and they were really materialistic, then that wouldn't be a red flag to them.
Yeah, it's all about the frequency that you put out as an individual, right? So, for example, myself, as you said, I've gone through personal experiences with people that's just all about the nice car, the new phone, the
Yeah.
clothes,
Yeah.
the restaurants, the holidays, etc., etc., the money in the bank. That's all like physical stuff.
Yeah.
That can be obtained during building the relationship.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily have to have it from the get-go, because
Yeah.
you're just literally living a facade
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely. I think as well, but it's hard to see trauma in people, isn't it? I have trauma that I know I have emotional trauma that makes me pick
Certain people.
certain people.
Yeah.
And that's something I can't blame them for.
That's so true.
I need to blame me for.
Be
I'm to
accountable.
blame for anything in my life. I'm to blame for it.
Why-
I know
what-
that.
Why do you say? What do you mean by that? You're to blame for it? Because I don't.
We only can get what we accept.
Yeah.
Like, we really can. And the signs are always there. You're like not listening to your intuition, not bringing trauma from an old relationship into a new relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, just seeing signs.
Yeah.
Like, when you mistrust someone, you can't get trust back.
Yeah.
I don't believe you can. Not from me.
Yeah.
And maybe that's part of my growth that I need to work on.
Yeah. So you don't think if someone's been dishonest with you in the past, that there's no coming back from that, they cannot redeem themselves in any way?
Dishonest in what way? With another person?
Just in anything.
No, I think no, because there is times when everyone's a little bit dishonest. Like, I think everyone can be a bit dishonest.
White lies.
White lies, but I
Yeah.
would say a red flag is also, like, what I'm meaning by that is going into a relationship trying to be something you're not.
Yeah.
I've done that. We meet new people and we try and portray something we are not.
Our best selves.
Our best selves.
Yeah. Or our ideal selves.
Our
what
ideal
society
self with
deems
no
to be
vulnerability.
good. Yeah.
Like, and then when you really get deep with someone and that relationship grows, they're going to see all them vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
And that's when you're a whole different. So I think a lot more, like, red flags. To me, I'm a red flag.
Wow.
For not being honest.
That's
like,
a massive statement.
yeah, I'm a red flag because.
Why do you say you're a red flag? What? Like,
No,
why
I'm
would
an
you deem
amazing.
yourself-
I'm an amazing person. I'm an
Yeah, I
amazing
think
person.
so.
No, definitely, and I give a lot of love. But I'm a red flag because I'm not on, like. I'm not giving my. I'm always watering myself down. Like,
For yourself or for other people?
for other people. Like, guys don't like women that talk about, like, there's guys that won't like me speaking on sex on a podcast.
That's not your problem though, is it? That's
Yeah,
their,
exactly.
That's a them
But
problem.
yeah, but it's a me problem when I pretend
But you're
that I'm
not
not
on
gonna.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a me problem.
Yeah, 'cause
that's
you're
a me
hiding your true
because
self.
yeah, and I talk about sex very openly. I
Yeah.
do it with my children.
Yeah.
I've grew up around people who talk about sex openly.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Like, and when you talk about, like, we done a live the other day. We done a live one, and the guys, and I felt like when I was talking about sex, and they were kind of like, "Oh, Donna's a like."
They
like-
had this perception of you.
They had a perception
because
of
you
me.
were happy
Yeah.
to talk about it so openly.
You wouldn't believe I'm insecure when it comes to sex. I'm nervous.
Wow.
I can't just have sex. I'm body conscious.
Yeah.
But I can talk. I like to talk about things.
Yeah.
So me
That
having a
will help though,
conversation.
isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. Me
Yeah.
having a conversation with an adult shouldn't be deemed. So yeah, me being more honest about who I am. I'm vibrant. Whereas I'm always like, oh yeah, I don't, yeah, this, and I don't, like, I
Yeah.
don't talk about sex on the off in case they get the wrong impression of me.
Yeah.
But really, you're not for me then, are you?
I
If
wouldn't
you
really
can-
I wouldn't see you as a red flag though. Like if
Maybe not, no, I just feel...
I would
feel
see
yeah.
I would see you as someone that
Yeah.
has some work to do on themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
And even the fact that you're acknowledging that is work in itself, because
Yeah.
it is very hard to take a real honest look at yourself with most people and say, I've got this that I need to work on.
Definitely.
This has affected me and it's stopping me from doing this and it's stopping me
Yeah.
from that. A lot of people, their ego's so sort of taken. Their ego's taken over.
Yeah.
Their life, and they're not willing to be accountable for
Yeah.
you know, the stuff that they put out or why their
Yeah.
relationships fell. And even when it comes to, I would say, red flags, it's, you know, I'd like to touch on what you said earlier about, you know, what we accept is, you know, what we get.
Mhm.
But sometimes I think when you're in love with a person, or when
Yeah.
this person has given, you know, their best self of them,
Yeah.
sometimes we do, as women, and I guess as men as well, do try to find the best out of people. So it's kind of like wakey time. It's like you said,
Definitely.
we have intuition, and we do kind of know that, okay, do you know what, this person probably isn't the right person for me. But at the same time, when you do meet someone and you're kind of like, oh, this, you know, this could be the one, or, you know,
Yeah.
it's hard to sometimes get yourself into that logical mindset.
Yeah.
Do
Our
you know what I mean?
expectations kill us.
Yeah.
Like, I always go in with expectations of long.
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever meet someone and not have an expectation.
Yeah.
Or saying that, no, I have. But when I want to be with someone, I have a certain expectation, and we kind of pretend. Sometimes we can try and pretend to ourselves that that person is what we think they are.
Yeah.
When we really break things down,
Yeah.
that what happens in relationships, their actions, they're not the same as this person that
It's
we
not
have.
matching.
It's not matching.
Yeah.
It's not matching, and we look over it because we all want to be loved. We all want to find that person, that soulmate, that twin. But it's just a lot.
So let's have you talk a little bit. So
I'm
how many red flags are too much? Like, can you ever maybe just have one or two red flags and maybe work with it, or is it just like one red flag and then it's a complete no?
When it comes to red flags, it all depends on if they're being addressed or not. Because it's a thing where if you're allowing the red flags to continue, then again, it's going back on what Donna was saying. It's your own fault.
Yeah,
If you're not
100%.
addressing it, like going back onto my first answer about emotional maturity, if
Yeah.
you're not addressing it, then it's a situation where you're becoming
Your
the red
problem.
flag.
Yeah, you're
And
part of the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
that's a really good way of putting it.
Enabler.
Yeah.
It's a situation where people will see a problem, and then they will continuously scream, shout, problem, and then become part of the problem, rather than looking at what the solution to the problem is.
Yeah.
And then becoming part of the solution. So if there's an issue within your relationship, you got to ask yourself, what role am I playing?
100%
And if-
accountability.
Exactly. And once you're accountable, you can then turn around and say, okay, cool, I can emotionally detach from this and walk away because I did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And then let the individual do what needs to be done for them to understand their misunderstandings. And going back on to what you were saying earlier on in regards to, is it reconcilable after somebody like shows you multiple red flags?
Their true face.
Yes, it can be reconcilable if they choose to show you that they've changed.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
if you literally turn around and be accountable for yourself, then and they show that they're accountable for themselves, why can't it be reconcilable?
Yeah.
No, that's true, because also we grow, don't we, as people?
There you go.
100%.
Most people do.
There you go.
Some don't, but you
Yeah.
know, we do grow.
But
And
as you said, you have to admit.
look at yourself.
You have to look at yourself.
Yeah.
And if there's two people and I'm saying, this is what's wrong, and you're denying it, we're not going to move forward, are
Yeah.
we? Like, if we're not taking accountability for our actions, and accountability is everything. So
No, definitely. Why do you think, this is a question that I always wondered to myself, why do you think that it's always outsiders that can see the red flags before yourselves? Why does it always take so long for us to see it ourselves, even though other people can see it? Like, it's as clear as day.
Have you ever heard the term love is blind?
But that's the thing, I don't think it is blind.
I think, and
It is.
I think we choose to make it blind.
Hope.
I think we have a choice, and we kind of make a decision that we're just not gonna deal with it.
Well, unconditional love, hence the word unconditional, it's blind to the conditions. Like literally, so if you're showing me a red flag, right, and I love you unconditionally, the love's going to basically say, whatever, yeah, that person can change. It will. It doesn't expect. It doesn't want. It doesn't need anything. It just basically, love is a giving energy. So you're going to continuously give. I'm going to love you to death. I'm going to love you to death. And at the same time, your mind is turning around and saying, can't you see what this idiot is actually doing to you, taking you for a fool?
Yeah.
Look at your bank account. It's gone in the red again, right?
Red
It's
again.
like, I suppose it's like any love, isn't it, though? Because, like, our children,
Yeah.
our family members, like, I can look at, like, it's when some people, it's when kids, I've always wondered why kids who murder, who kill, and their mum and dad stand by them, and
Yeah. Support them.
but then I know, no matter that there's unconditional love there,
Yeah.
and it comes with anything. It's like people standing by their partners as well, like
No, definitely.
because
When they
you
do
know
bad
that,
things.
and it's not that you will never see a side of a person intimately. You'll never say a partner of mine. You're never going to see an intimate
The same way
or
that you do.
the same way I
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
You're never going to see them hard times or them times when they're upset, or do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's all to do with the heart, I suppose, isn't it? And it's so true. We can't control who we love.
Yeah.
We can't like.
Definitely. Just going back to kind of thinking about, you know, this unconditional love and the way that we just want to love that person, doesn't it then come back to us loving ourselves?
Of course, 100%.
Because, you know, if you, yeah, you want to love somebody unconditionally, you want to give all your love out, but if that person is hurting you, or you know, these red flags, you can see these red flags before it's gotten to, you know, that I'm deeply in love with you stage, surely we need to take a step back and think, hang on a minute, what about me?
Yeah.
What, you know, I love myself, and that's where, you know, it comes into how much do we really love ourselves? Do you know what I mean?
Our insecurities,
Yeah.
like, are that's where it is. Like, we all claim to love ourselves, but it takes a lot of work to love yourself. Like, I think it takes a lot of work to be honest with oneself.
Yeah.
Of what your issues are, and and I feel like I really do love myself, but I've had a relationship that showed me that I really don't love myself, or that
Or you need to
I
love
need to love
yourself more.
myself more.
Yeah.
There's more work that needs to be done.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like Akasha said, it's whether you stay in that relationship or in that position and you keep on taking the nonsense or seeing the red flags and not doing anything about it, and your partner doesn't want to do anything about it, that's where, you know, you have to sort of differentiate and say, okay, cool, probably not the right situation for me, and have an honest conversation with yourself first.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yourself first. That's where it starts, with yourself, and then, you know, going forward. And I think, I mean, I've been in a situation where, you know, I kind of picked up the same sort of guys, and I've had to look at myself and think, okay, why am I attracting the same sort of
Yeah.
personalities? And the weirdest thing is they're not all the same, but there are similarities in
Yeah.
in each person. But yeah, it is very much about
And on
digging
that,
deep.
communication is definitely a red flag for me. Like, if you can't communicate with someone, and that's something that I've recently learned.
Yeah,
Like, communication is, if you can't communicate on an adult level,
effective
effectively,
communication.
you can't work on a relationship
Yeah.
that needs fixing.
And also, you got to also remember that we have different styles of communicating, and even though, you know, you meet different people along the way, and sometimes the way that I communicate might not be to that preferred person. So you kind of have to, it's about learning each other as well. So
No, definitely.
You got to understand that how people treat you, it's not about you.
yeah, 100%.
Right? It's about how they feel about themselves.
Yeah,
And
100%.
and it's vice versa as well.
Yeah.
How you treat people is not about the people, the
Yeah,
person that
it's
you're
about you.
that you're looking at. It's about yourself. So a lot of the time, we are all mirrors to each other, and it's a situation where we project what we want from each other.
Definitely.
And if we're not trying to understand each other, we're trying to obviously get one over each other. So we kind of got to understand the misunderstandings and learn to communicate correctly.
That's scary. That's terrifying. When he's talking, I'm like, wow. Like, that's really scary for me.
Because it's just like, for me, I've been on that journey. I've been through a hell of a lot throughout my
Yeah.
whole entire life. Like, my mother was a narcissist. I was attracting narcissistic partners all the time.
Crazy, isn't
And
it?
I'm like, why am I going through this? And
Yeah.
then when I start realizing, hang on a second, wait, it's because of the conditioning that I was going through.
When you were a child,
and they're
yeah.
projecting because they've got trauma. They're not basically admitting to their trauma. They're basically expecting me to come along, pick up the pieces,
Put them
and
all together
mollycoddle
again.
them, and they're
Yeah.
codependent,
Codependent,
on my
yeah.
on my presence within the relationship.
Yeah.
So the best thing for me to do is pull myself back, go into hermit mode, heal, understand the misunderstandings, and fix myself. Love myself the way I wish for somebody else
How
to
do
love
we
me.
goes back
know
to us, doesn't
how
it?
to heal? How it's all right.
That's a self journey.
No, I definitely hear that.
Because everybody's gonna.
Yeah, but that's
everyone's
I'm
gonna be
kind of
different.
like, I hear self journey, heal yourself, do the work on you. What if you don't know how to do that?
The start of your healing process, you already said it. You said you was a red flag earlier
Yeah.
on. So it's admitting to yourself,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
this,
the first step.
I am that. I need to work on this. I need to work
But
on
how
that.
do you work on it on your own? How do you, without putting it into practice? I mean, me and you've had conversations
Yeah.
the last probably 6 months about, I've been really opening up about to myself emotionally, really accepting things. My mum passed away years ago, and it's affected me in so many ways throughout my life that I've never known until really now. And I've accepted it. I kind of know what the things are, but I don't really know how to work on them. And that's me being honest.
I mean, I can only speak for myself, and my journey, I have always gone and spoken to somebody else or gone to counselling.
yeah, therapy.
And that has worked for me. But
Yeah.
what works for me may not work for you. But
Yeah.
you know, it's worth a try. You
No,
have you have to
definitely.
try. But I think it is. I think the first step, 100%, the first step is admitting it to yourself and being very honest with yourself, getting down and dirty with yourself.
Yeah, no, a lot of us want to do that,
But
me included.
and it's not easy.
And no, it isn't.
It's not easy.
No, it really
you know,
isn't.
it's very traumatic because it's almost like you have to kind of relive your past
Yeah,
and then understand, you know, that whatever happened to you
yeah,
wasn't necessarily even about you.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
No, definitely.
you know, it's a long journey, but I don't think you ever stop trying to heal. But you have to be on that journey first.
No, definitely.
It's
Yeah.
like, yes, I agree with the admitting to yourself part first, and then the second part is forgiving yourself.
Absolutely.
And then once you learn to forgive yourself, you can then go back and talk to this person or that person and ask for
You
forgiveness
guys
if
are
you've
getting
done
me
it.
emotional.
It's fine.
It's
No,
a
but I
hard
don't know
topic.
It's fine. It's fine.
No, it's
'Cause
it's
this
mad.
is
It is. It's like,
We
oh
keep-
my God, no!
It's fine. It's fine.
Listen,
It's,
no,
it's
it's
good. This is part of you starting your healing process right
Exactly.
now on Pillow Talk. So we're grateful to just, you know, this
Exactly.
place.
Don't beat yourself up
No,
for.
and this place is for you to be vulnerable, for us to listen, and for us to learn
This
about
is
each
like
other.
therapy, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
I was
so-
going to say, when we first started, are you ready for the therapy
yeah.
session?
Can I get paid?
Really?
for this?
No, but honestly, I don't cry.
It's
Oh, wow.
fine.
Yeah,
It's
that's
fine. You're
mad.
good. You're good.
That's
You're good.
mad. Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
You know
Well
it's
done.
okay to cry, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's okay to cry.
Yeah. It's good.
And therapy.
Don't say that because I'm trying to stop myself right now. If you say,
No, but listen. Therapy is everywhere. Therapy is in food, in conversation like this. You said something correct with yourself, like you are your own worst enemy. So obviously you know use the word. What
Yeah.
word did she use?
What? She is a red flag.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great start.
Yeah, that was
Understand?
amazing. That
That's
was amazing.
brilliant, girl, man.
I give you a round of applause. I can't
Yeah,
stand
no
up,
doubt.
but yeah,
No doubt,
standing ovation.
Now we love you, man. Come
Yeah,
on,
we love you, Don.
We love you.
We love you, Don. And the viewers love you too.
Each one teach one. We're here to help each
Yeah,
other.
100%.
100%. We're village.
100%.
We're village.
Yeah.
We're all village, man.
I'm going to wrap it up. Guys, Don, thank you
Later.
for coming.
Thank you, man.
And
later, guys.
do you know what? I hope that this has helped someone at home as well, because we all go through traumatic experiences as to why we accept things and why we ignore things that probably aren't the best for us. So I'm just thankful for you guys for coming on.
Yeah.
And,
More than welcome.
thank you
Thank
for
you for having me.
watching. And please carry on the discussion. Tell us your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, guys.